Okay, so, hi baby. Hi honey. Look at you. Oh my goodness, it's a nice little drool you got there. A little boogie. A little boogie. Hi baby girl. Love her. She's so cute. She's really a sweet dog. She's adjusting really well. Anyway, UTV. You guys, long story short, I wanted to buy a utility vehicle for the lake property, the off-grid property, because we don't have anything out there. So we have nothing to do firewood, take a chainsaw around, whippersnipper, carry tools from A to B to X to Y to Z. The lower usable part of the land is probably a couple of acres. So it's time. Sometimes we need something to get a dog. And I'd been looking for a few months. I didn't want a sportsmobile. I didn't need something new. I didn't want something really expensive because it's the lake property. We're not out there all the time. If it was a daily user like this property, I probably would have bought something a little bit newer. But for out there, I saw that and it really fit the bill. It's got a windshield, it has a roof. It was owned by an elderly couple who used it only to plow their driveway in the winter, which was only a couple times a year. And they had owned it since it was a year old, and it only has 208 kilometers on it. So I jumped on it. They're a legit couple. Like, they're not, we know some of the same people, even though they live in a different town. But yeah, it started, it ran, it was fine. I didn't have a chance to really take it out for a test drive because they lived right on a highway and there was nowhere to go. But they just said it ran great. They never had any problems with it. And I totally trusted them. And there's no reason to believe that they would have lied to me. The problem is that when I went to go pick it up, my friend Bruce came to help me because he had a trailer that wasn't insured and I needed a bit of help because of my hip. This was pre-operatively, by the way. So we go down there and it's really struggling to start and stay running. It was a struggle to get it home and get it on the trailer. But it did run, and then I got it home and I took it up and down the driveway twice. And on the second time at the end of the driveway, it stalled and it wouldn't start again. So I was like, oh my God, okay, it's probably just a carburetor issue, but I'm gonna let them know that it's great, I really like it, it doesn't run. And they were surprised to hear that, as was I. I was just like kind of surprised. And they said, well, you know what, if you want to bring it back, you can, or we can help you try to fix it or whatever. And they had actually had some young guy that helped them with the one little problem that they had with it was a solenoid switch, just maybe a month or two before they sold it. And they said, maybe that guy could help. So they gave me his number. He ended up coming up to help me figure it out. So really nice guy, seems to know what he's doing, has had lots of vehicles, utility vehicles and ATVs and dirt bikes, and had a home business of like property maintenance and knows small engines and things like that. So we're pretty sure it's the carburetor, but then he figures out that it's the fuel, it's fuel injected. Anyway, we drain the fuel into a couple of cooking pots and trying to start it, trying to turn it over, and it's just not going. So the long and short of it is that he had taken a little bit of a fuel on a rag and was trying to get spark, I think. I don't really honestly know. I'm not a mechanic. I don't understand this kind of stuff. It seemed like legit, and I think it is. And I was inside, and then all of a sudden I hear this like yell and this bang, and the dogs run in the house, and I come running out, and there's a big fire. The pots of fuel were on fire. So what had happened was a spark flew out the back of where the air filter was. It lit the air filter and the fuel-soaked rag on fire. That blew off, and it landed right in the tanks of fuel, the pots of fuel. And the guy like almost got blown up. Like his hair was singed. It was really scary, honestly. And I just grabbed tin. We had sheets of tin laying around, so I grabbed a piece of tin and I put it on top of the fire with the rag and the filter. And then I tried to scrounge up more pieces of tin to put on the pots. We do have a fire extinguisher, but I didn't know where it was. Anyway, and then we pushed the utility vehicle, we pushed it out of the way, And this guy was like, actually has some like firefighting certificates, like wildfire certificates. He said, it's just fine. We're just going to let it sit there and it's just going to burn itself out, which it did. Anyway, that is the fire story of that. It itself didn't blow up. It's just that the spark flew at the back, so it doesn't have a spark arrestor, which that's good to know. Anyway, he ended up figuring that it's the fuel pump. He electrically tested the things and was pretty confident that the issue would be the fuel pump. And more than likely, the little issue that the elderly couple had with it to do with the solenoid had a connection. It probably burned out the fuel pump, is what the guy thought. The young guy that came to help me is what he sort of thought. So this is this little off-brand Chinese thing. Getting parts isn't difficult. It just takes a while. I had to order the things online, and they're finally here. So it's time I move that buggy. It's been sitting there for a month, I would say, a month. And so the fuel pump is in, and I've got the air filter as well. So that is what I want to do, is try to get the buggy running. One of the first things that happened when the fellow was here helping me try to figure out what was wrong with this thing was the battery died. Because when you try to start something over and over and over again, especially like ATVs or UTVs, the batteries are very small. So the first thing I ended up doing or having to do was actually charge the battery. And I did it using this model from Bluetti. This is the Elite 100 V2, and with an accessory cable that I purchased last year, I think, from Bluetti. So these are great little things to use for like trickle charging. I have used trickle charging at a power station multiple times. The Elite 100 V2 is a brand new release model from Bluetti. And in theory, it kind of is an upgraded version of the AC180. And I have the AC180. I wish I had it here to show you a side-by-side comparison, but it's actually at the lake property because it's one of my most reached for power stations because it's small, it's lightweight, portable, and it's powerful. So the Elite 100 V2 is better. It's faster, it's smarter, and it's lighter. In fact, it's 30% lighter and it's 35% more compact. I was told I was allowed to carry up to 25 pounds at this stage. This is exactly 25 pounds, so perfect. This little guy has 11 versatile ports, 1,024 watt-hours capacity, 1,800 watts of AC output, 2,700 watts of lifting power, which is essential for things like ovens, kettles, and even welders, and a 3,600 watt surge. It's ultra quiet at 30 decibels, and it has a really fast UPS switchover time of less than 10 milliseconds. It's super fast charging. It charges to 80% in 45 minutes, and it's got incredible fast solar charging capability, 1,000 watts. It has 2 separate solar input ports and also has really fast car alternator charging. It's got over 4,000 cycle charges, which gives it a 10-year lifespan. This category of power station has got to be my favorite. The Elite 100 V2 is so versatile, it's really capable of most jobs you throw at it. Take it camping, take it on road trips, use it for home backup, or even take it to a job site. Even though this house is on grid, I more often reach for a small, lightweight, portable power station like the Elite 100 V2 over a few extension cords for a few reasons. Some tools, like an air compressor, for example, operate better with less cordage between the tool and the power source. And also, a lot of times, I find it so much more convenient to bring my tools to my work spot versus moving all my materials to a power source like this bench I'm working on. So I have a very wonderful marketing manager. Her name is Mandy, and Mandy sent me a couple of gifts for my recovery, one of which is this massage mat. So a couple times I've brought it outside here to use on the lawn and just lay here and listen to the birds and relax. Amazon Prime Day is almost over. Don't miss your last chance to score Bluetti's biggest deals of the year. This promotion will end on July 31st, so act fast and join me in powering up your summer with Bluetti. I've dropped the link below for you guys, so check it out and enjoy the final deals. Air filter. The air filter wasn't going to come until the 3rd week of August, so the the fellow that came here to help me with all this sourced this out for me, this other air filter. So I've got this to use for now, and then I'll have a spare one. Okay, so I don't know that really looks right, to be honest, because this is kind of like compressed, but that's the only way that filter will work. Oh, Demi, why you do this to me? Okay, the pump is down here. Secrets of the bilge. This would be the bilge. Ah! God. Apparently this is supposed to be pretty straightforward, but I don't know where that piece just came from. Oh. This is already off. This was the electrical thing. So the fellow determined it was the fuel pump by, there's power coming to this plug, and then nothing is happening with the pump. So that's already off. This little metal thing, this ring needs to be compressed so that it can slide out, and then just these tubes taken off. Hi, Luna. That little thing that came off was the float valve, which I kind of thought, but that's what Steve said too. And we're just going to look at the old one and see how it's attached, because I can't see. Sorry. I was hoping that would fit. I was also told, do not lose any of these parts, because I think that's what has to happen. These have to be brought together. Maybe not. Oh, and that is not going to squeeze it. It's pretty tight on there, though. Like that.
See, this one here, you spread it. But it's
yeah, I put a little bit of spray, like cleaner spray on it, because I think it's sort of like rusted on.
Now hold on, it's opposite. It's the different, like we got to squeeze it together, not spread it apart.
I know, that's what I've been trying to do. Ooh, close. There, Steve got it.
There.
Okay. It's like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming out. Ooh.
Let's see. See my left. Hold on.
I couldn't get this other hose off. I thought I would take it off.
Yeah, how do you get this out?
So unfortunately, the old one isn't coming out. It's like the plastic has become swollen or something, and it just will not fit out through the hole, the through hole. So we just kind of Steve cut this to just make it easier to try to get it out. But it's like, I was like, we could try cutting it, but you can't, because then you have all this plastic in your gas tank. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that out. Naturally, it all happened so quickly. Steve went and got we just figured that the only way we're gonna get it out is by cutting the plastic. So we're just gonna drain the tank, and I'm gonna have to clean the tank out. Good job, Steve. It's like you're pulling a baby out of a uterus.
Yes. Okay, good.
All right, you guys, time to drain the fuel. Luckily, I saved the 2 pots that already burned, because that's what I'm going to use. I contemplated keeping them, and then I was like, oh, I think I'll just throw them out, because they are really, really, really sooty. I just need to see what bolt I need if I can use a crescent wrench or adjustable wrench or whatever, or if I've got to get something else. These are, one of them was supposed to be a dog dish, and one of them was my kitchen pot. Hi. Hi. Who's a good girl? Oh yeah, okay. I can just use this wrench. I had to get one of these. Okay, so there's a little bit of stuff in the bottom there. What I'm doing actually is just flushing it a bit. Okay, the tank is empty. It's cleaned out as good as I can clean it. And I put the nut back in there. The question is, how do I attach this float valve thing? Because it came off, the float valve. Looks like I've got I got this like metal ring on there. And I've got to press the pump down and somehow get that ring back on. So that I just think is going to be a finicky process that I'm just going to have to play around with. Hopefully I can get it. Cold. Went from being, whoa, shit, that scared me. Oh my God. Went from being really hot yesterday morning to really cold. I got my fat girl sweatpants on. I can't wear anything tight because my leg is still a little bit swollen and it's just sore around the incisions. Anyway, I asked the fellow to come and fixate that ring for me, but he got it on, and all I gotta do is fill it up with some fuel and it should start in theory once the line gets primed. So I just grabbed some gas. It was difficult for him to do as well. He said it was a pain. It was not easy. So, oh, I need the key to get in this gas tank. Right. One of the things that was also happening or not happening that he thought it was the fuel pump was because when you turn the key, you should hear that like the fuel pump engaging or whatever. And it was hit and miss. It wouldn't happen all the time. I'm nervous. Oh, it still didn't make that sound though. There. Now it went. I'll tell you what, the fuel gauge works now, and the fuel gauge wasn't working before. Pump came on. going to walk away for a little bit. There it is priming. I can hear the pump, so that's good. Come on, baby. Come on, little China machine. That was a little bit better than last time. If I just prime it a couple times. You guys, of course, the next time I go to start it, I was like, it's probably not going to start. I'm not even going to turn the camera on. I'm just wasting time turning the camera on, wasting your time, wasting footage, and then it started. It didn't start easily, and I had to rev it a lot in the beginning to get it to just like, I don't know, feed the lines, but it's idling now. I'm afraid to move it, but I think that's the next phase. I'm just gonna let it idle. Have a seat. Oh, brake. Okay, well, it doesn't have power steering. That's fine. Reverse. Miss Dolly Mama loves to run with the ATV, so don't knock the camera over. Well, let's take it down the driveway, Dolly. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. See you in the next one.